Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me for a special tribute episode today on the channel to two of the all-time great goal scorers in hockey history. And the backstory here is that I promised at the outset of this NHL season to show a brand new, or new to the channel anyway, Alex Ovechkin card every time that he lit the lamp during this campaign. And I've been keeping up with that fairly well. Over the last couple weeks, work has been insane, and so I fell heading into this past weekend about 4 goals or 4 cards behind. So I want to catch up on those first here in the early part of the video. So I pulled 4 off the stack of yet to be shown Ovies, just to at least get caught up to yesterday's historic event. So for starters, I have this silver foil parallel of his 2016 Upper Deck flagship card. These are offered via e-Pack and available through ComC. The way it would work, and I'm not an e-Pack person, so I'm just summarizing this based on what I've read. If you pulled 10 copies of Ovechkin's base 2016 Upper Deck card in the e-Pack packs in the application, you could trade those in for 1 physical copy like this of the silver foil parallel. So you'll see these available on ComC beginning in 2015, I think, and then every year after that. And they're not exceedingly rare. I don't think it was too tough to pull 10 copies, I guess, in e-Pack if you're ripping a lot of that stuff. But they're still sneaky good cards. They're the same as the flagship, paper version of the card, just with a foil or metallic kind of feel to them. So grab that one just to kind of really just want to have the complete run of those silver foils for Ovechkin. So that's the first one of the 4 that I have. The next 2 are a really fun insert called Sub-Zero. These have been part of the Upper Deck Ice product in recent years, and this particular one here coming from 2016, and they are all acetate inserts. So they have different themes and designs to them, but they always have this Sub-Zero in common, and they also have in common the fact that they are always acetate or see-through cardstock. So I'm a total sucker, as I've mentioned many times, for acetate cards in general. And so scooped up this 2016 Ovechkin. And then to pair along with that, also have the 2018 Sub-Zero, again, with a slightly different design, but still has that same see-through element. These aren't, particularly tough cards. They're kind of sneaky good. I didn't look up the insertion ratios on these prior to the video. I think I paid about $2 or $3 a piece for these. Maybe a year or so ago. They certainly go for a little bit more than that now, but I just like the aesthetic of them. They're really fun looking cards. And speaking of which, the 4th and final one that I have to catch us up, at least up to last night's historic event, is this one, which is a really neat die cut out of 2016 O-Pee-Chee Platinum called Puck Personas. And it's just really, I guess it's kind of gimmicky, but I thought these were a neat effort by the folks at Upper Deck, producing some cards that were die cut in the shape of a hockey puck. So there's really not much more to it than that, but just a unique addition to the Ovi collection. These are not expensive. I think even today, you can most likely get these for like $1. But I just think it's a fun card that will add a little bit of variety to the Ovechkin Z folio that I've been working on. So pulled that one as well. So those 4 cards catch us up on his goal scoring through last weekend, and through the point where he became tied with Jaromir Jagr for 3rd all-time in career goals in the NHL. Last night, history was made, and Ovechkin lit the lamp again and officially took control of 3rd place on the career goals list in the NHL all to himself. So Jaromir Jagr wakes up this morning in 4th place on the career goal list, and Ovechkin is cemented in 3rd and continuing to rise. This is just an amazing feat. At the outset of this season, I don't think most folks, myself included, predicted that Ovechkin would be passing Jagr this year. My guess was that he would get, within range, but likely not pass him until next season. But he has just had an absolutely amazing campaign of goal scoring at a relatively advanced age for the Capitals this year, and ended up passing him last night. And there are still about 20 games to go in the Capitals' regular season here before the postseason gets underway. So I'm sure he will further pad that total over the last few weeks of the season. But huge congratulations to Ovechkin and Jagr. And to kind of celebrate that moment in hockey history, I wanted to show a significant card of each of the two of them in today's installment. So we'll start with Jagr. And I want to show another card first to kind of relate to each of these. And the one that I have for Jagr is this Larry Murphy. So I showed this in an episode a while back along with a bunch of others. And what this is a buyback of the inaugural 1990-91 Upper Deck Larry Murphy card in this instance. And these were issued in the year 2010 by Upper Deck in their Upper Deck French release only. You would get 1 to 2 per hobby box, and they would be stamped. It's a little difficult to make out in the light, but they'd be stamped with these 20th anniversary foil stamps to indicate that they were buybacks. So 20 years after the initial release, bought these back, stamped them, and issued them in those French hobby boxes only. There's no confirmed print run on these, but they're pretty tough to find, especially a decade plus later. A few folks that I know that are quite knowledgeable in the hobby estimate that there are probably less than 20 of each of these available. And in some cases, I maintain that there are even fewer copies than that. There are certain players that I've never seen in buyback form from that Upper Deck set, even though I've been searching for those and had saved searches for those for, close to a decade now. Other guys you see crop up a little bit more frequently. So they're rare. And I don't know if every player had the same number issued. There's really no public information available from Upper Deck, as is usually the case with buyback programs. But suffice it to say, as a lover of buybacks, they're some of my favorite, very rare and sneaky good hockey cards. And just this winter, during the current season that we're in, I was able to secure one of these that has been a dream card of mine for 10 years now, since they came out. I've been searching high and low for many years. I was unsure whether this card actually even physically existed or not, but was able to secure one that surfaced a month or two ago. Was the first one that I had ever seen, was up at a very high asking price that I was not willing to pay, but I began, engaging with the seller, whittling him down, offering back and forth, and in the end settled on a price that was about 1/3 of the initial asking price on the card, with a little bit of hard work and back and forth messaging. And of course, the card that I'm referring to is the buyback, the 20th anniversary buyback of the Jaromir Jagr Upper Deck rookie card that you see in the background here in a PSA 9 slab. If you've been collecting hockey cards for a while, you may realize, right away, but if not, let me assure you that this is a monster Jagr card. As I said, 10 years of saved searches on these buybacks and searching high and low. I have never seen another copy. I am quite confident that there are less than 20 of these. And in my personal opinion, there may be less than 10 or maybe even less than 5 of these in existence. This is an iconic card from my youth. One of his most well-known, if not his most well-known rookie cards. And to get one that's a buyback for a buyback collector like myself of this rarity, absolutely made my day. This was one of the best hockey pickups that I have had in years. It was so satisfying to bring this home, and it's arguably the best Jagr card in my collection. I do have some others I think that could compete for that title, but this is an extremely awesome Jaromir Jagr rookie card. Very, very happy that I was able to bring this home and wanted to save it for today as a tribute to the man. Although he's been passed now by Ovechkin, his career accolades are not to be underestimated. Absolutely one of the premier scorers in the history of the league. And being in 4th place in career goals is no small feat. And, like a lot of the guys on the list, Jagr missed a lot of time playing overseas or due to lockouts or other things. So you do always have to wonder what could have been with all of these guys. But, to be a top 4 scorer in the history of the league and actually to still be playing to this day overseas, and just a fun personality and an awesome guy. So nothing to be ashamed of that you've been surpassed, Jaromir, and really enjoyed your hockey career and collecting your cards, and just so pumped to get that super rare rookie card into my hockey collection. And that leads us now to the final card, and wanted to pick a special one in my challenge to myself to show a new OV card for every goal that the grade 8 scores this season. You know, being the goal that surpassed Jagr and put him solely into third place, I wanted it to be a significant card, and so chose one that I think is just, you know, as the kids would say, an absolute banger. It is not this card. I've shown this one in the past. This is an exclusives version of the card in question, but it's one of my favorite Ovechkin flagship cards, this one here. And for a couple reasons. The photograph is just great. You know, at pregame warm-ups here with some youth hockey players holding Capitals flags. It's just an awesome photo. And what I think is really cool about this one, it's also the year that Ovechkin got the monkey off his back and won a Stanley Cup and brought a championship to DC, or the DC metro area. So really significant card for that reason. I've tried to get, you know, different versions of it. As I said, this one's an exclusives, numbered to 100, but this is not the card today. I've already shown this one on the channel, but I wanted to kind of show it as a little bit of, you know, background info here, because it's closely related to the special card that I did pick to show today, and that is this one. Without further ado, this is the 1/1 printing plate yellow that made the 2017-18 Upper Deck Alex Ovechkin flagship card. And for those of you who aren't familiar, I'm sure probably everybody watching this video knows what a printing plate is, but these are the actual plates that were used. There are typically 4 of each card with different colors, you know, magenta, yellow, black, and cyan or blue. So there's typically 4 of them, and they were used to actually produce the trading cards that year. So this is a really neat one. They're all 1/1s, obviously. And I love this because, you know, Upper Deck flagship hockey is the set. It's the longest running continual, you know, set by one vendor and one brand without buyouts or anything like that. Like, I know O-Pee-Chee still exists, but that's because Upper Deck owns O-Pee-Chee now. But as far as, you know, flagship hockey cards, Upper Deck flagship is to hockey what Topps flagship is to baseball. So this is sort of like the base card for Ovechkin for 2017. This would be like getting a Topps, you know, flagship Mike Trout printing plate or something along those lines in the world of hockey. And the fact that it is a card that I find to be one of his more significant cards due to that photo and that championship that was brought home that season, I was just absolutely ecstatic that I was able to bring this home. Of all places, I was able to secure this on ComC, believe it or not, about maybe 6 months to a year ago, somewhere in that range. And one of the Ovechkin pieces that I am most proud of in my entire collection. So thought it was a fitting example to take out today and use to pay tribute to the grade 8 officially moving into the number 3 spot in career goals. So huge congratulations to Ovechkin. He now has just Gordie Howe and Wayne Gretzky remaining in front of him. And also, as I said, a huge congrats to Jaromir Jagr as well on his amazing NHL career. So that's all I have for today. Just wanted to share those 2 epic hockey cards and take a moment to pay tribute to 2 of the best goal scorers the game has ever seen. I certainly appreciate you joining me and sticking with me through 13 or 14 minutes of hockey talk here. And I will absolutely be back in the very near future with some more sports card content. Until then, take care and enjoy the hobby.